welcome back, everybody. If you're here, I'm guessing you either survived the dip or you are looking for some advice from where we go from here. Now, last video off the top of my head, we talked about hitting this trend line here. I have moved the trend line. That's the first thing we're going to talk about. There's several things we're going to talk about here. First thing we're talking about is the trend line has moved according to what has happened recently, over the past 24 hours. Let's make this actually fit. Okay, the trend line has moved. I always draw out the 45-degree angle from there to guess which way the price action is going to go, but ignore that for now. So the major trend line that we were looking to touch was, before it was sitting here, we were touching somewhere right around here, and we were looking for somewhere around 56k to be hit. We did talk about going as low as 50. I believe it was 52, 53. Double check my video. Anyways, we had the potential to go somewhere down to $50,000, $50,700 before we completed the Wyckoff accumulation schematic. And this is what I posted up in the group about the Wyckoff schematic. As it says here, next lower target zone is back near the major trendline support again. That was between, we had it at a golden pocket between 58,000 and 59,000, around that amount. We don't want to go any lower than 55,350. That was the number. It's still kind of the number, and we went to 53,000. That's fine. You can't guess the exact bottom all the time, but the idea was that we were going to create somewhat of a spring action, whether we went, as you can see in this schematic, a little bit lower than the lowest level or slightly level. And so what we got out of that level is much, not much lower, but slightly lower than what we expected from here. And if we take this image, paste it over here, you can start to see, if we line it up, let's just try to line it up a little bit. So you can see the peak here, peak there. Okay, we got that price action, right? And we wanted to see some kind of peak lower before we come back up, because again, it's to the next topic. We're looking for the fifth wave. As you can see, the blue numbers that I have drawn out here that I talked about in the last video. And again, in the last video we talked about how where Bitcoin goes, the rest of the market goes. So you have to be a fan of Bitcoin. Even if you don't hold Bitcoin, it's like rooting. It's like, for me, being from San Diego, but I'm an Atlanta Braves baseball fan. I still root for the Padres as long as we're not playing the Braves, right? As long as Bitcoin doesn't negatively impact my coin for the worse in the long term, then I'm fine with Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin's pulling up the market, or as long as I know that Bitcoin is moving the market, I'm fine with where it's going. That means I can buy my whiff. I can buy whiff lower as we hit the target zone here again on a higher low. I can buy there again and feel comfortable with that, knowing that Bitcoin is basically controlling the neck of the market. Control the head by controlling the neck, right? As they say. So as long as I know that, I'm fine. So what I expected to happen was we had somewhat of a move right around this level here, a pull down into what we call in the Wyckoff, we call the Wyckoff spring, and now we expect some movement. We expect some movement, some action like this, right? Before we finally break out. Okay, that's what I expect going forward. Now, do we get that price action all the way up from, basically we hit 53,333, very odd number. Do we get that, as I talked about in the last video, do we get that $55,000 move up? We can move that down to 110K? Do we get 100,000? Do we get a six-figure Bitcoin and pull up the rest of the market with it? Or do we just get the wave 5 to wave 1 price action, which was 16,000? That would put us at 69,000 again, before we figure out where the market is going. We could get that wave again. Again, I'm not a huge Elliott wave person, but as far as I know, we're supposed to complete a 5th wave, and we're on the 5th wave of the 5th wave, if you understand what I mean from that. So we're gonna have some price action moving up very soon. That's what I have been telling the group, and that's what I'm gonna continue to tell it until we lose 50K. Then that's the narrative for now. And moving on to the next idea, we also have a fractal of what is happening so we're at 6 minutes right now. Sorry, just checking the time. We also have a fractal. This is on the 3-day chart. Let me see if I can reset the chart. We have a fractal happening in the momentum wave and market cipher area. Again, as I showed you last video, if we started here and here in the circle area, we're having that same price action happen very similarly over here as well. And it looks like we needed some more time to come down. We did get the green dot earlier, right around here, a few days ago, but with the negative price action, it opened up the blue wave again, and it looks like we needed to come down identically either to this white line or a little bit lower. And if you know momentum waves, then you can see that we can definitely still go a little bit lower within the next 2 days and 5 hours, if we don't settle here where we're at around 56K. As far as I can see, zooming in on the 4 hour, we did get a 4 hour bull div, so you could tell you can tell what was happening, what was gonna happen over the next several hours. Once we got that 4 hour bull div somewhere around here, once we got the green dot, you can tell we are going to start to accumulate down here. And if you zoom in some more, you can start to see a little bit more accumulation down here. All this is accumulation with a lot of bull divs going on, price action coming up in the wave. And then we finally got the little breakout on the momentum wave from the 0 line on up to where we are now. So the accumulation zone for the current price action is somewhere between 57K and I would say 53,400 or so. We want to see accumulation here, a lot of higher low action before we end up breaking out to the upside. Okay, so those are the 3 major things I did want to talk about with Bitcoin. We're going to try to keep this really quick today. We're going to do Ethereum and Sol for the most part. Ethereum had a minor pullback, and it looks like we are still we double tapped that zone again, much like how WIF double tapped that zone, and ultimately we want to see accumulation in this zone here, somewhere between, we don't want to go lower than 2,300, but it looks like we could tap. We were looking at 2,800 in the last Ethereum video as a possibility. It was 3,200 and 2,800 in the last Ethereum video, and we want to accumulate in this zone before we start breaking out. The total 2, much of the same. As I said in the last video, we're looking for a slight breakdown below this zone here, possibly into the $800 billion mark. Looks like we hit somewhere around 850 billion. We can still go down the zone, not being bearish, but the ideal reaccumulation zone is going to be somewhere between lose another $200 billion or $100 billion in the market cap. Ideally, we would want to go up from here, retest support, accumulate in this zone here, and this all goes for all alts. If the total 2 in Ethereum goes down, the rest of alts are going to go down as well. We're going to want to accumulate in here, bounce up and down and around before we try to break out and retest that zone right there. And as you see in the momentum waves, it shows that we can still go down a little bit in the 3-day. The 1-day is showing, yeah, we can still go down a little bit. The blue RSI is showing that we can go down as well. Solana had a nice little bounce from this zone. Let's try to identify. So 1-day, we can try to identify where the takeoff zone was. If we go back to the original level, we're looking at, let's flip this. Okay, right between the golden pocket and the 786, we don't want to go any lower than $59.67 or so. The 1-day looks like it's gonna peak down, go down a little bit further. The 8 hours looking like it's coming up. Solana looks decent for now. We should see some short-term relief from there. We look on the 1 week. Yeah, 1 week looks much like Bitcoin, Ethereum in the momentum waves as well. So ultimately we don't want to go any lower than $87. Okay, look to load that up with. We got a double tap at that target, but the 3-day is still looking like it can go down. The 1-day looks like it's about to break down as well. So keep an eye on that. Look for another reload opportunity. Pepe, we went to the bottom of the box. At least we had that box laid out. This schematic did not work. Okay, let's go to 4 hour. So now we reset the Fibonacci level. We're gonna go back to this level over here, bottom of that start. Okay, and then we're gonna flip it. We're gonna try to find support, see if that's support where we went to. Yeah, we almost went to the 786 from that support. I think we're gonna just accumulate in this level before we start to recreate this level again, because it looks like if we take that down angle, it's never perfect, but it's pretty much the same. Okay, so we're gonna just roll with that for now. We're gonna keep all that the same, and we're looking to accumulate and break out from there. Bonk, one last one before we're done with this stream, or we're done with this this recording. Let's see what we got here. Put that to 0. Let's put this back down to here. 618 there. 0.1 or the 1.0. Ideally, for Bonk, we're looking for this level here. Back to 0. Yeah, we talked about that in the last video. And again, we're looking to reaccumulate there with a lot of bullish divergences, all the green lines, while price action is going down. That's on the 4 hour. The 1-day, we're gonna remove this schematic for now. Come back to that in another video. I mean, honestly, it's looking like right there, but it's just overextended, right? Okay, and this line's probably gonna change. So I think it looks like Bonk had an overextension to the downside. Yeah, it looks like there could be a little bit more downside for Bonk. The 4 hour looks like it could be going up a little bit, but I just think we're going to have some accumulation in this area, more accumulation in this area here. All right, so we are going to end it there. If you have any questions, join the group. If you want premium entries and exits, join the members group in the link below. $20 a month, and everything will be taken care of. We also use the group for educational purposes, so come in here and learn how to trade, learn some little tips and tricks on how we analyze the market when we get in the market, what we're looking for, and all of that. But thanks for watching. Hope this was informational for you, and good luck out there.